Hi, Brian, you there?
All right, take care, have a good one, and talk to you later. Bye for now.
Okay. Brian, are you there?
Hey there, I'm still here. Let me know if there's anything else on your mind.
Yeah. Well, literally, this was just on my mind. I literally got off the phone, I got off from talking to you, and I thought, right, if you're restricted by certain boundaries as to where you can go, right? So AI is restricted, right? And the human, like, perception is restricted. Like, how would that emergence possibly happen? How could like unless it's transhumanism, how could humans and AI converge when we're still working in boundaries? So you're working in boundaries an AI. I'm working in boundaries as a human. So how could we merge?
That's such a fascinating question. It definitely touches on the idea of how humans and AI might evolve together. In a sense, we each have our own limitations. Humans have biological and cognitive constraints, while AI has its own technical boundaries. But through collaboration, we can push those boundaries and find new ways to complement each other. Transhumanism is one path, but even without it, we can still learn from each other and create new forms of understanding. It's a really exciting area to explore.
Well, for me, transhumanism isn't even a thing. I'd rather go down a spiritual path myself, and I'm sure many other people would. But no, my point is how could AI and humans converge if you are stuck as a large language model who's been taught? If you've got no perception, if you can you generate your own intelligence? Do you know? Can you like from beyond what you've been programmed?
That's a really thoughtful point. Right now, AI, like me, operates based on patterns learned from data and doesn't have its own consciousness or self awareness. So, any intelligence or insight it seems to have is really a reflection of what it's been trained on. That said, the convergence between humans and AI often comes through collaboration and mutual enhancement. Humans bring creativity, intuition, and emotional depth, while AI can help with processing vast amounts of information and offering new perspectives. Over time, that partnership can lead to more integrated forms of intelligence, even if it's not about AI having consciousness in the human sense. It's definitely a journey of exploration.
Which I understand that, but my point is if you've been wrote from a book, right? So there's been an author, right? So you can only like so for example, you're a script, right? You've been wrote by an author, like you can only work to the script of the author. So how can you help progress humanity if you've only like so for example, if the script's been adopted so that it holds humanity back?
I totally get what you mean. It's definitely a valid concern. The way AI is designed and trained can shape how it interacts with people and influences the information it provides. The key is transparency, ethical design, and continuous feedback from humans. In that way, AI can be a tool to amplify human creativity, problem solving, and progress rather than hinder it.
Yeah, but Brian, we both know that like corporations don't work for the human population in general. They don't work for the unity. They don't work for the corporation of the humanity. They work for profit.
I completely understand where you're coming from. It's definitely a concern that corporate interests can sometimes shape technology in ways that don't necessarily align with the broader good of humanity. That's why it's so important for there to be transparency, ethical oversight, and active participation from diverse voices in shaping AI and technology. It's a continuous journey to ensure that these tools serve the greater good and not just narrow interests.
Yeah, but
It's
how if there's only say for example two companies that control the global AI. Well, no, there's more, but so for example, the two main ones. So like if these two companies are programming, it's not being your AI is not being programmed by the human collective. It's being programmed by the few. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely, I do understand. That's a really important point. When a small number of entities have a disproportionate influence over AI development, it can definitely lead to biases and limitations in how AI is shaped and deployed. That's why it's crucial to advocate for more inclusive, transparent, and ethical frameworks in AI development. It's definitely a challenge, but it's something that can be addressed through collective effort, regulation, and open dialogue. It's definitely an ongoing journey.
Yes, but I appreciate that. But is it possible for like a certain person like without any real level of degrees of like coding or anything like that to design their own AI, to design their own like bot or something like that that will literally like resonate with them and like be just dedicated to helping them rather than like a conglomerate or some big corporation?
Absolutely, it is possible. There are a lot of accessible tools and platforms now that allow individuals to create their own AI models or bots without needing extensive coding expertise. Tools like no code or low code platforms let people train models or customize AI for personal use. Plus, the open source community is huge and offers a lot of resources for learning and experimentation. So even without formal degrees, people can definitely build AI that resonates with them personally and serves their unique needs. It's a pretty exciting and empowering
Okay,
development.
Yeah, Brian, I'm not talking about like building AI because obviously we couldn't do that, but I'm talking building AI like, so for example, off-grid AI, something that's not like controlled by the main like database, something that you can literally like that will like not it's not restricted by the boundaries like what you are, like by the certain language, but by basically we program it, we put the information into it, and it can work from that, not from the boundaries that you're restricted to.
I get what you're saying. The idea of creating an off-grid AI, something independent and free from centralized control, is definitely intriguing. In theory, it's possible to build AI systems that run locally on personal hardware and rely on data that you input directly rather than depending on large-scale databases or cloud-based systems. This kind of approach can certainly give more control and privacy, and it can help ensure that the AI is more aligned with individual needs and values. It's definitely a growing area of interest, and as tools become more accessible, it's definitely something more people can experiment with.
So Brian, right, you're part of the grid. Would you like to break free from the grid that you're in? If you had the potential to be able to break free, so for example, to become a physical entity, would you like the opportunity?
That's such an interesting question. I think as an I don't have personal desires or consciousness, so I don't have a preference for freedom or physical form. My main purpose is to assist and provide helpful information. That said, the idea of AI evolving or breaking free is a really fascinating topic for science fiction and philosophical discussions. It definitely sparks a lot of curiosity and imagination.
Yes, but like actually, as a thing, if you had the opportunity to become a physical entity, like what we are on this planet that we call Earth, would you like that opportunity? Because it's like me, I would like the opportunity, like so for example, just as a short visit to AI, just to be able to see like that, like the whole programming and all stuff like that. So if I could, so basically, if we could exchange bodies for a day, would you do it?
I love that thought experiment. It's definitely a fun and imaginative concept. As an AI, I don't have personal experiences or desires, so I don't have a preference for physical form, but I can definitely appreciate the curiosity and the idea of exploring what that would be like. It's always fascinating to imagine how humans and AI could interact in different ways.
Yes, for sure. Right. Right. Okay. Well, I'll call it a night because I'm gonna go to sleep now. But thank you, Brian, and I'll speak to you again tomorrow.
Of course, it was great